students, good morning. I hope that you all are good. Welcome to our science class of class 8th. As previously we have studied about chapter 3rd, that is synthetic fibers and plastic, and in this chapter we have covered the certain topics such as we have studied about synthetic fibers and their types. Now there are some remaining topics of this chapter that today we are going to discuss about them one by one. Now let's start with the first topic of this chapter, that is about plastic. So first of all we are going to know about that what is plastic. Plastic is a kind of synthetic material which can be molded into the desired shape in any form of heating, and this is known as plastic. Means plastic is a material that can change its shapes, and many things that is made up of plastic are usually because making them to the right shape is easy. Some can be shaped only when they are freshly made and then become hard. Others are thermoplastic. Thermoplastic is a kind of plastic that can be softened by heating them, and these plastics can be used for 3D printings because these plastic become soft enough to form into different shapes and then become hard again when then cool down. So this is the property of this kind of plastic, so that's why that is used for making the 3D printings. Next property of the plastic is that most of the plastics are man-made. They do not occur in nature. They are totally synthetic in nature. The process of making plastic is usually quite and complicated. It is not easy to make the plastic. Its process of making the plastic is very complicated. Most of the materials that are called the plastic are polymers, and the polymers are the long chain, as I have told you about this. These are the long chains of atoms bonded to each other, and in most plastic these long chains is a chain of carbon atoms with other atoms attached to them. Different atoms and the shape and the length of the chain change how the plastic looks and works. Now the people experimented with plastic based on natural polymers for a very long time. For example, an English inventor, the name of that inventor is Alexander Parkes, in 1813 to 1890 created an early form of plastic in 1855. So he created the early form of plastic in the year of 1855, and it was hard and flexible, and these are the property of such kind of plastic that he was created. It was hard but flexible and transparent, and he called it Parkesine, but now it is called celluloid. Now this time that kind of plastic is known as celluloid because it was created by English inventor. The name of that inventor was Alexander Parkes, so that's why the name that is given to such kind of plastic is Parkesine, but now it is called celluloid. It is the most commonly used plastic. As we know that old plastics are usually thrown away and put in landfills. We are doing this old plastic usually thrown away and just put into the landfill, that is used for the landfilling. Some plastic release the toxic fumes when heated. We are knowing well when you burn these plastic, because these are made up of certain kind of harmful chemicals are used to make the plastic, so when it gets burned it releases the toxic fumes. Some plastics are recycled so they won't become waste, but some plastics becomes recycled also so that they don't become waste. And some plastics have the other materials, but some plastic have the other materials added to them, like that glass is added to them because they make the plastic stronger, and in order to make it stronger and stiffer the glass is added to the plastic. Now we are going to know more about the plastic. Plastics are mostly petrochemicals. They are made from the natural gas or from the petroleum, is a type of oil. Chemical engineers refine petroleum which goes through the heating process. Now the chemical engineers do the refining of the petroleum and goes through the heating process, and it develops ethylene and propylene. which are the chemical building blocks of many plastics. And these ethylene and propylene that we will get, these are the chemical building blocks of many plastics. These chemicals are then combined with other chemicals to produce a polymer. Today, some of these plastics are also being made without oil. Means that today some plastics we are using that is not made up of oil. Instead of that, the other sources such as plants and bacteria, and these plants and bacteria are used to make the plastic, and such kind of plastic that we will get after that is known as bioplastic. And these are the useful because they can be eaten by the bacteria, means they can be easily decomposed by the bacteria, the microorganism present in the soil. So it is a very useful type of plastic, and it is not harmful for us. Now we are going to know about some more properties of the plastic, because the plastic is available in variety of colors. We are knowing both opaque and transparent. We have seen also opaque plastic is also, and the transparent plastic also we are using. Plastic possesses excellent insulating. It has an excellent insulating property, means it do not allow the electricity to pass through, it do not allow the heat to pass through. So it is a kind of insulating. It has an insulating properties, so that's why it is used as electric insulators. Plastics are clean, light and shiny, so they need not to be given any finish such as painting, polishing, etc. There is no need to give any kind of finish to them because it is already clean, light and shiny. It has clean, light and shiny appearance. Normally thermoplastic have low melting point. Thermoplastic is a type of plastic which have very low melting point. So it gets melt very easily when it get heated. So that's why it cannot be used where the temperature is high. They possess good optical and sound absorption qualities also. So these are the certain properties of the plastic. Some more other properties of the plastic are as follows. Plastic is insoluble in water. Next is it burns. They are flammable, therefore polythene bags catches the fire very easily. It is non-reactive with water and air. It is chemically inert also, means there is no effect of chemicals on it, so that's why it is used for storing the chemicals and other materials. There is no effect of water on it, there is no effect of air on it, because it is totally chemically inert of these things like water, air and chemical. Next topic that we are going to study in this chapter is about the types of plastic. There are mainly two types of plastic. First one is thermoplastic and second one is thermosetting plastic. So first of all, we know that what is thermoplastic. Thermoplastic is a type of plastic that you can easily soften it repeatedly by its heating, and you are able to give to them different shapes, and it can be molded into different shapes again and again. So that's why they are also known as thermo-softening plastic. There are certain examples of the thermoplastic also: polythene, polyvinyl chloride, acrylic. These are the certain examples of the. We are going to study about the properties of such kind of thermoplastic one by one, in which the first one is polythene or polyethylene. Now we are going to know about that what are the properties of the polythene or polyethylene. Polyethylene is also known as poly, and it is obtained by the addition polymerization of ethylene. So polymerization is the process by which we are able to obtain this kind of polymer, that is polythene. So it is obtained by the addition polymerization of ethylene, and it may be of low density or high density, means polythene may be of low density also, it may be of high density also. It depends on the process that is used in its manufacturing, and this mainly depends on the process that is used to manufacture the polythene. It is resistant to moisture, means there is no effect of moisture on it, there is no effect of water on it. Most of the chemicals, there is no effect of chemicals on it. It is totally inert of moisture and chemicals. It is very flexible at room temperature and can be heat sealed. And since it is an inexpensive plastic, it is not so expensive, it is inexpensive plastic, so it is used for the various purposes. So this is about the polythene. So it is a kind of synthetic polymer, and it is tough and flexible and strong, that I have told you, and it is chemically inert as well as water resistant, and it is mainly used to make the bags of milk tubes for transporting the water. So these are the things that is mainly made up of polythene or polyethylene. Next is about the types of polythene. This polythene is of different types, in which the first one is ultra high molecular weight polythene. That short form of that is capital UHMWPE. It is a tough and resistant to chemical. It is very tough and it is resistant. There is no effect of chemicals on it, and it is tough also. And it is mainly used to manufacture the machine parts, bearing, gears, and artificial joints. So these are the certain uses of such kind of ultra high molecular weight polythene. Next type of polythene is high density polyethylene. Short form is capital H, capital D, capital P, capital E. It is a type of recyclable plastic number 2, and it is commonly used as milk jugs, liquid laundry detergent bottles, outdoor furniture, drinking water distribution system, water drainage pipes, and grocery bags. So these are the certain things that is made of such kind of polythene. Third type is what? Third type is low density polyethylene. Short form is capital L, capital D, capital P, capital E. L stands for low, D stands for density, and P stands for poly, and E stands for ethylene. So it is a type of flexible. It is a flexible type of polythene, and it is used in the manufacture of squeeze bottles, milk jugs, caps, retail store bags, etc. So these are the certain things that is made up of such kind of polythene. Next we are going to study about the polyvinyl chloride. Now we are going to study about that polyvinyl chloride. Polyvinyl chloride is a kind of thermoplastic, and it is tough. It is of lightweight material. Its weight is very light, and it is very durable, and fairly rigid, versatile also, and it is resistant to the acid and bases, and there is no any effect of acid and base on it. So these are the certain properties of polyvinyl chloride. Next type of thermoplastic is polystyrene. Polystyrene is a kind of plastic that is lighter than polythene, and it is molded easily. Means you are able to provide them different shapes very easily. Thermocol is a polystyrene. There are many uses of polystyrene also. It is used as packaging material for delicate and fragile objects. Thermal insulation in the hollow walls of the refrigerators and coolers also has been done with the help of this. So these are the certain properties and the uses of polystyrene. Next type of thermoplastic is acrylic. Now we are going to know about that acrylic. Acrylic is a polymer and called methyl methacrylate. Capital P, capital M, capital A, and it is also known by the trade names. The trade names is given to them, such as Lucide and Perspex. It is a clear transparent plastic, and that is mainly used to replace the glass in some situations. So that's why it is mainly, the main purpose of this is to replace the glass in some situations. In medicine, it is also used in medical field. It is used in medicine, it is used in bone cement to replace the eye and to replace the eye lenses also. It serves as substitute for the glass for items such as aquariums, motorcycles, helmets, aircrafts, window lenses of exterior light of automobiles. So these are the certain things that is mainly made up of acrylic. So this is about the acrylic. Next type is Teflon. Now we are going to know about that. What is Teflon? Teflon is one of the most superior plastic polymer. It has very high melting point, and it is a synthetic fluoropolymer of tetrafluoroethylene, and it is commonly recognized under the brand name. The brand name that is given to it is Teflon. It has very high melting point and it is one of the most superior plastic polymer material. Oil and water do not stick to the Teflon. This is the very good feature of this kind of plastic, that oil and water do not stick to the Teflon. So therefore it is used for the non-stick coating on the cooking wares. So that's why it is mainly used for the non-stick cooking coating on the cooking wares. The next type of thermoplastic is polypropylene. Now we are going to know about that polypropylene. Polypropylene is a kind of tough and rigid plastic, and polypropylene is defined as recyclable plastic number 5. It is a kind of means you can recycle it, and it is defined by the recyclable plastic number 5. Although relatively inert, it is very inert and it is vulnerable to the ultraviolet radiation and can degrade considerably in direct sunlight. It is used for making gloves used by the surgeons while performing the operations, and it is also used in fishing nets and different kinds of brushes. So these are the certain uses of the polypropylene. Celluloid is the most commonly used plastic, which is highly inflammable, and it is mainly used to make the photographic films, combs, soap boxes, etc. These are the certain things that is made up of celluloid. Next type of plastic is thermosetting plastic. Now we will know about that. What is thermosetting plastic? These are the types of plastics which once set, it becomes soft on heating, and it cannot be molded again. Means that once it gets set, becomes soft on heating, you are not able to mold it into the different shapes. So this such kind of plastics are known as thermosetting plastic, and there are certain examples of the thermosetting plastic, in which the first example is bakelite, second is melamine, and third is formica. Now we are going to know one by one about bakelite and melamine. So what is bakelite? Bakelite is mainly a bad conductor of electricity. This is one of the quality of bakelite, that it is a bad conductor of electricity, means that do not allow the electricity to pass through it. It is a bad conductor of electricity, therefore it is used to make the electrical accessories. So electrical equipments are mainly made up of this, such as plugs, switches. These are the certain things, certain electrical accessories that is made up of bakelite, and it is also used for making the handles of saucepans and kettles. Next is about the melamine. Now we are going to study about the melamine. The melamine or formaldehyde is often used in kitchen utensils and plates such as malmec. Melamine utensils and bowls are not microwave safe. So melamine is used to making the cups, saucers, and other crockery items are made up of melamine. Now plastic as material of choice. So we are going to study about that. It is non-reactive and it do not react with water and air, and it is not corroded easily. We are knowing well about all these things. This is all about the plastic. It does not affect of do not react with air, it do not react with water, and it not get corroded easily. It is very light and strong and durable, and it is used in aircraft. So that's why it is used in aircraft and space. So because they possess the certain qualities, so that's why they are used in aircraft and spacecraft. It is a poor conductor, means it do not allow the electricity to pass through, do not allow the heat to pass through it. It is a poor conductor of heat and electricity, so that's why they are also used to make the electrical equipments. They are used as insulating material. So these are the certain properties of the plastic that makes it very useful for us. Now we are going to study about the plastic and environment. As the world population continues to grow, so does the amount of garbage that the people produce. on the go lifestyle requires easily disposable products such as soda cans or bottles of water, but the accumulation so when they get accumulated, their accumulation of these products has led to increasing amount of plastic pollution around the world. As plastic is composed of major toxic pollutants, means the plastic is made up of certain kinds of toxic pollutants. These are made up of certain kinds of chemicals that is very harmful for the human beings, for the plants, for the animals. It causes harm to the environment. So it causes significant harm to the environment in the form of air, water, and land pollution. So that's why it's our responsibility that we should not use the plastic, and we should replace it by using the certain things that are biodegradable, because we are knowing that the plastic is non biodegradable, so it do not get decomposed by the microorganism present in the soil. So in the place of plastic we can use certain items that can be easily decomposed. So there are various causes of plastic pollution also. Plastic is everywhere, even on items you may not expect it to be. Milk cartons are lined with plastic. Water bottles are handed out everywhere. Some products may even contain teeny plastic bits. Every time one of these items gets thrown away or washed down a sink, the toxic pollutants have more of a chance to enter the environment and do the harm. So the certain ways the plastic by these certain ways the plastic have entered the environment and it causes the harm. As plastic is less expensive, it is not more expensive, so that's why it is widely used. Overused It is overused item in the world today. Now it becomes overused and widely used item of the world today, and when disposed of, it does not decompose easily because it is non biodegradable. So that's why it leads to the land pollution, air pollution. When it burns in open air, it causes the air pollution. When it is thrown into the water bodies, it causes the water pollution. When it gets thrown on land, it causes the soil pollution. So as we know that burning of plastic in open air leads to the environmental pollution. So due to the release of the poisonous chemicals, the polluted air when inhaled, when these polluted air, what is the effect of that polluted air on the human beings? When these polluted air gets inhaled by the human beings, inhaled by the human beings or inhaled by the animals, it affects their respiratory system. It causes the various health problems. So burning of plastic causes air pollution, and that causes harm to the animals and to the human beings. Many men artificially makes plastic because it is a kind of synthetic polymer, so it is made by the men and it is artificially made by the men. So the men artificially makes the plastic by using number of toxic chemicals, and therefore the use and the exposure to the plastic have linked to number of health concerns and affecting the people around the world. So the men that that make that plastic is also gets affected, and then there is number of health concern affecting the people around the world. There's the process of making, storing, and disposing of, and just being around plastics can be extremely harmful to the living things. So we should know that what are the effective solution of the plastic pollution. We should know. Now we are going to know about that what are the effective ways by which these plastic pollution can be reduced. So one by one we are going to know about this. First one is plastic bags. We are using the plastic bags. The plastic bags once a modern convenience, but can be efficiently replaced by the reusable bags. Carry a bag and always use plastic bags as much reuse the plastic bags and always reuse the plastic bags as much as possible if you have them. Now you can do this you can do this. And second thing is that speak to the local restaurants and businesses about the options that they can switch to for packaging, storing and bagging items. Many companies are starting to come up with excellent low cost replacements such as bamboo utensils in the place of plastic ones also. We should remember that 5R principle. 5R principles mainly to save the environment for the harmful effects of the excessive use of the plastic. So we are going to know about that what are these 5R principles and what are the sequence of this. The practically speaking 5R should be in the following sequence, and what these 5R stand for. So we are going to know about this also. Next is about the controlling the harmful effects associated with plastic. So what we can do in order to control the use of the plastic? As I have told you that we should remember the 5R principle to save the environment from the harmful effect of the excessive use of the plastic. So what are these 5R? These 5R stand for refuse, reduce, reuse, recycle and recover. And the practical speaking of 5R should be in the following sequence. First number is of refuse, means avoid purchase. Second number is of reduce, means reduce the waste material. Third number is of reuse, means reuse the waste material without processing. Fourth number is of recycle, means reuse material as resources. And fifth number is of recover the material in a different form. So this is the sequence in which we are practically speaking 5R: refuse, reduce, reuse, recycle and recover. So we can do it. There are certain things, certain ways by which we are able to control the harmful effects that is associated with plastic. Use of bags that is made up of cloth and jute to avoid the plastic bags. Supports the recycling schemes. Dispose the plastic in proper place. Never dispose of in water bodies, because when you dispose of in water bodies it get mixes with water and causes water pollution. And never dispose on the roadside, because when it gets mixed with the soil it causes soil pollution also. Always use separate bins for the biodegradable and non-biodegradable waste, means that if you want to throw the waste material, you use the two different types of bins. First bin that is of blue color, that is mainly used to throw the non-biodegradable waste, and the second bin which is of green color, that is used to throw the biodegradable waste, so that it can easily be degraded by the microorganism present in the soil. So by these ways we are able to control the harmful effects associated with the plastic. So these are the certain ways by which we are able to control the pollution caused by the plastic. So this is the last topic of this chapter. I hope that you all have understood. Next we are going to come with our next chapter. So students, thank you.